In my first business, the French e-commerce site Myfab, launched in 2007, we were selling everything from fashion to electronics, and I saw that our sales of furniture were really taking off. A friend in China who is a furniture manufacturer told me he would sell the sofa for £400 to agents who would then resell it to a wholesaler in Europe, but when it eventually came to the store, the price tag was outrageous. The same sofa was selling for £3,000. I saw the opportunity of using the internet to disrupt the supply chain. What was the initial reaction to the idea? If I listened to what people around me said about my idea, I would never have started it. This ranged from "oh, it's never going to happen, it's too difficult," to "you're 5 or 10 years too early." But I had this conviction that if you bring furniture down to a third of the price with the same kind of quality and craftsmanship, maybe 100% of the customers won't switch to buying online, but if 10% of them switch, there will be more than enough. Before we arrived, the furniture industry had not changed in 60 years. How do you think Made.com has impacted the furniture industry? Before we arrived, Made launched in 2010. The furniture industry had not changed in 50 or 60 years. The last revolution was IKEA, which really changed the way people shop for furniture. It brought functional furniture at a fashionable price and drove them out of town to buy it, but that is quite old now. What we want to do is to be the pioneer of the next trend of how people shop for their home and really become the alternative to IKEA. We consider ourselves a promoter of great design at affordable prices. We put pressure on the industry to evolve. They caught up, of course, and there's competition, and so that's good for business, but nonetheless we pioneered this field. Why did you step down as CEO last year? I look at myself more as an entrepreneur than a manager. Today we have more than 400 employees. Made has expanded from the UK to Italy, the Netherlands, Germany and Belgium, and announced it is nearing £100 million in sales, and it's something that I feel confident to pass on to a professional manager to manage on my behalf. I've stepped down, but I'm still a major shareholder at Made. Felipe Chenu, the new CEO, has grown to the role and understanding of the business, and I trust him entirely. Gradually, when I feel the business can be more independent, I probably will start a business again. I have a list of about 30 ideas, and I'm working through them. Have you any plans to sell Made.com? I'm not interested in selling the business. In 2015 we secured $60 million, £38 million of funding for the business from Partek Ventures and Fidelity Growth Ventures. As a business we have always been very cash efficient, so that £38 million investment is probably enough for the foreseeable future. We're quite content with what we have so far. What are you proudest of? That I got a really good team together in the beginning. I was lucky enough to partner with Brent Hoberman as my mentor, my first investor and my co-founder. I grew up in China and started my first business in France, so when I came to the UK I had no connections in this country. Without Brent, I couldn't possibly know where to find my other investors and recruits. What's the biggest lesson you've learned? The importance of delegating. In the early years of Made, we did many things ourselves, not by choice, but by necessity, because we didn't have money to hire people. I'm kind of a control freak. I'm so afraid that things would be done badly if I don't do them. At some point, that mentality became an obstacle, so about 3 years ago I started taking myself out of the process rather than trying to make myself indispensable.